up, guys? It's Black and Reaction Day. I'm back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to something a little different. We're not reacting to music. We're reacting to an anime thing. And this is a video from it's from SethTheProgrammer. If you know who he is, he's a very well-known anime, I guess, kind of YouTuber and kind of power scare YouTuber as well. Also debunker. He's done a lot of debunking videos on a lot of different things, like Goku versus Superman and this and that. And I really like SethTheProgrammer. I think he's he's very smart, and he always brings facts whenever he talks about something. There's never speculations. But I told you guys that, this isn't just a reaction channel for music. This is a reaction channel for anime, and bunch of things, whatever I want to react to. So today we're going to react to something. We're going to react to SethTheProgrammer, the third Hokage is underrated. Now, if you know the third Hokage is from a series called Naruto. If y'all know Naruto is, go look it up. Great anime series, but anime fans would know what Naruto is. And if you watch Naruto, you're a big fan, you know who the third Hokage is. He was like the old man. He was the leader of the village during the time Naruto was a kid, before he ended up dying against Orochimaru during the invasion arc. Anyway, I guess what this video is going to talk about pretty much is I guess, because a lot of people to assume he's actually the weakest of the Hokages, the third Hokage is, because he was super old, and I guess because he didn't show too much. But to me, I've always thought he's one of the strongest characters in Naruto, even just in front of the Leaf is. He was known as the first, so he had mastered every single jutsu in the Leaf. He could use all the elements. He could do this and that. He had trained the three legendary Sharingan, which were Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru. And a lot of people put him as the weakest Hokage. They'll have Naruto at first. They'll have the first Hokage at second. They'll have the second Hokage at third. Naruto's at fourth, or sometimes Naruto's dad might be above the second Hokage. It just depends. And then they'll have Hiruzen. They'll have Tsunade. Then they'll have Hiruzen all the way at the end of the third Hokage. But he's actually so much stronger than people give him credit for. So that's what this video is about. I've been wanting to watch it, react to it for a while, so let's get into it. As you guys know, link below in the description to every video. Also my Facebook and Twitter there as well. I will also leave a link to Seth's channel as well. If you guys want to go check out some of his other videos, he has a lot of other great videos just talking about things. So anyway, let's get right into it, guys.
Memes that have come about due to the exaggerated tales the Naruto-verse will tell about certain shinobi, or just because they're spastic enough to attract those ramen guy solos XD forms of comments, which is essentially the equivalent of the memes kids in the Dragon Ball community use when they say Yamcha, farmer with the shotgun, or Monica solos XD. And one of these memes happens to be Hiruzen, the god of all shinobi, the master of all techniques, the man who could solo anybody in his prime. Now, of course, it's an exaggeration, but it's somewhat of a clever exaggeration that I actually appreciate because of how the data books and characters actually jerked Hiruzen off during part 1 of Naruto, and then suddenly acted like he didn't exist in part 2. Many people who talk about Hiruzen's powers tend to do it in a somewhat faulty way, completely disregarding his lore as a meme, and trying to simply scale him to Orochimaru when he was almost 70 years old during that encounter. Pretty much the same conclusion YouTubers and all subpar Naruto debaters comes to is this: in his prime, he could probably just be a Sanin but stronger or something. And this is ubiquitous. Go to any Hokage ranking video or any Hiruzen discussion video, and they all say pretty much the same hot garbage without truly analyzing what Hiruzen's...
Oh guys, sorry, excuse me. Alright, sorry guys, we're back. But pretty much what he was saying is that a lot of people when they first watch Naruto and they look at that fight between the first Hokage, the third Hokage, and Orochimaru, they put him like you say before, if he was on his prime, he'd probably be Sun level or above. He's low right now, so they're scared of Orochimaru, which is not true because, sorry guys, my cat is freaking out right now. I don't know why she is freaking out. She is going crazy. But pretty much he was just putting them kind of at that level, and that's kind of if you really don't know what power scaling is, you really won't understand. I'll say hi. This is my kitty. She is acting crazy. I don't know why she's acting like this. She needs to stop. Alright, stop. See. She's acting a fool, guys. But what I was saying is pretty much when you first watch Naruto, you're going to skim on that. Because when I first watched it, I just thought, oh, the third Hokage, because if he was able to be a Orochimaru, he was that old. It's like, oh, when he's prime, in his prime, he's definitely probably much stronger. And I think that's something you would basically like come to the conclusion like after watching the video or after seeing the fight for the first time. What are you doing? Sorry, she's crazy. But let's get back to the video, because
Sarutobi is actually capable of. We're going to be going into more of a power scaling sense in this video and how he stacks up in his own series, and we're going to be avoiding calculations and AP levels in this video, so sorry in advance for people who wanted something like that. And I know I'm coming off strong with this intro, and I know it's going to get a lot of hate off of that alone, but I just...
Because sometimes the HP stuff and the scaling, it gets really fucking confusing. Luckily, I know what balance scale, I know what power scaling is. I have like a good... She's back again. I have like a good understanding of it. But some of that stuff does get very crazy. You try to calculate it all. Sorry guys, sorry. My cat's like fucking with me.
I want to kind of open the community's eyes to this weird cognitive dissonance it has with this character. Because for the most part, all of those Hiruzen wank memes are just that, a fucking meme, with the downplay being unironic and something to look at far more critically. Now, before we can talk about Hiruzen...
And that's kind of how, like, people win Batman away Superman. Well, Superman's omnipotent, he can beat anybody. Or, no, Batman's omnipotent, he can beat anybody because of plot armor. Because Batman can never be beaten. Or, like, how they'll wank Goku, how they'll wank, like, One Puncher, just because his name's One Punch, like, he can beat anybody in one punch, don't matter who it is. It's that thing that when people really wank and, like, they just really overskill a person's power to the fullest, when he's nowhere probably even near that powerful. And that's why I said I really like about Seth is that they really focus on that. And they really get into like the actual details, not just fucking wanking and not just guessing.
True strength, we really need to get out our sparkly white gloves and duster out and really brush off this old rusty monument of an argument concerning Hiruzen versus Orochimaru. So most people aren't aware of this, but for one, Orochimaru has 7 stages throughout the main series that he can be scaled to, and all of them have much different powers for the most part. You have Orochimaru in his Sannin days, the one that fought Jiraiya and Hanzo, Orochimaru post-time skip that fought Hiruzen, Orochimaru that fought four-tailed version 2 Naruto, Orochimaru that...
So I just want to say about the whole 3 Sannin thing. If y'all don't know how they got the name, they basically fought like this ninja, like he mentioned, called Hiruzen. He was like this legendary poison ninja that like ruled his own country. He's supposed to be a crazy strong, and the reason they got this name because he defeated them easily. But because they put up a good fight, he was like, "Nah, I wouldn't need you guys to 3 legendary Sannin." That always bothered me. I was like, "So y'all got them legendary names because you lost." That always bothered me. As I said, that always bothered me. Like he said, Orochimaru has 7 different stages, and he's not the only one. A lot of different people in Naruto have different stages. You have like Sasuke when he was just starting out. Sasuke when he fought Naruto at the end. Sasuke came back into Puddin. Sasuke when he fought Deidara. Then he fought like you see that everybody's different stages of Naruto. Sorry, or 6-pack of stage in Naruto, or Naruto when he first started. Everybody has different stages that they go through in Naruto to get different power levels.
Fought Sasuke, the one that fought Itachi, Orochimaru in the war, and in Boruto. The problem here...
Sorry guys, hold on, my cat is freaking the hell out. Alright, sorry guys, I'm back. But pretty much what he was saying, he basically just put over all the different forms, pretty much, not like forms like Super Saiyan, forms like that, but just pretty much different stages that Orochimaru went through all Naruto, which he ended in Boruto, which I know he hasn't really done anything about it yet, not even in the manga, but I really believe he's probably much stronger than he was during the Fortune War, but that's just me. Let's get right back in the video.
Don't understand the difference between the Orochimaru that fought Hiruzen and the one that fought four-tailed Naruto.
Yeah.
The Orochimaru that fought four-tailed Naruto was theorized by Jiraiya and somewhat shown to really kind of hit his limits fighting the four-tailed version 2 nine-tailed cloak. So many people scale this. They're like, oh, Orochimaru is probably similar to base Jiraiya or something, but people forget or missed 2 things. Those 2 things being, 1, Orochimaru's body was rejecting him, and 2, Orochimaru's powers were still stolen from Hiruzen. So that's right. So after Hiruzen stole Orochimaru's powers and his arms, even after he stole and got new bodies, he never regained those powers Hiruzen stole. So this is stated by Orochimaru right after he resurrects the past 4 Hokages and his arms start like glowing pretty much. So all of those abilities and strength he used to even compete with Hiruzen were mostly lost. This is why Orochimaru seemed so much stronger versus swirly Toby Zetsu compared to how he seemed earlier in Shippuden. It's then stated that Hiruzen at basically 70 years old is the strongest of the 5 Kage, stronger than Inoki and Raikage A. And in fact, you could argue Inoki and A were stronger when Hiruzen was Hokage, since it's implied Inoki has been out of shape for a while and he's only getting older, and that A has been kind of slacking off and hiding away in his depression from the loss of the 3rd Raikage.
So basically, saying that a lot of people thought, like they say, when Hiruzen back then he was old and sick, he was the strongest of the 5 Kage of the time, which were A, which is like the Black Lightning dude. There was the old man when he just mentioned. There was the sexy girl. I forget what her name is. And then there was the other one. He was so stronger. I don't know. I definitely believe he was strong. I think her name was May, the one who was Hokage of the Mist, because she never really showed to be that powerful, despite the fact that she was Hokage compared to other ones. And then as far as like the old guy, and Gara, like I don't know. Maybe Gara, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I wouldn't like disagree to say he was strong enough, but I'm just not sure if he could really beat one of them. And it's prime definite topic.
So back to the fight, Orochimaru then summons the 1st Hokage and 2nd Hokage, and while imperfect, they are still all considered Kage level by the surrounding Anbu generals watching the battle, and are enough to push someone stronger than the Raikage and Inoki. This is a Hiruzen who struggles to make 2 shadow clones later on, and can barely hold his staff in his hand, reaching these high Kage levels. From here, people kind of put it into perspective that Hiruzen really seemed to be struggling with Orochimaru, and even Orochimaru kind of jerks himself off about how he's beating the legendary professor so handedly. But this is not at all true. Hiruzen, just like he was in the past when he failed to capture Orochimaru and sat down and let him run away, is not at his full strength. So all of these feats so far are him as an old, weakened man and suppressed. To repeat, this old Hiruzen, who should be a retired, decrepit man just smoking his pipe in his rocking chair, is not even going all out against 3 Kage-level opponents and is still holding his own. Wow. When this battle was happening, Hiruzen uses adamant.
So basically saying he's like that even though in that fight, he was still holding back. But that's a lot of the anime. If you realize on anime, that a lot of times in anime, if you're an old character, you got to be still like really fucking super strong. Oh my god. Examples are like he said, Hiruzen from Naruto, Master Orochi from Dragon Ball Z, and like Whitebeard and Luffy's grandpa from One Piece, and even like from Bleach, the old person who was the head of the Soul Society, who was over the head of the Soul Society, who was over 1,000 years old, but still was like the strongest soul in the Soul Society at that time. So it just shows you that even though they're old, that doesn't mean they're weak. Because in anime, a lot of old characters are really fucking strong, and Hiruzen is one of the examples. Like he was saying, Hiruzen was holding back in this fight prior because he really didn't want to hurt Orochimaru because he was his student. He still probably had some love for him and things like that. So like he was saying, he was old, decrepit, and weak, but he was also suppressing himself, so he wasn't going full out against like Orochimaru, the 3rd Hokage, and the 2nd Hokage. While, like he said, weren't at their full strength, was still considered Kage level shinobi. Damn. Okay, guys, I swear it's like freaking out. It's freaking. Hold on, guys, sorry. It's just freaking out. See, it's freaking out. Okay, guys, get right back to the video.
Prison wall to defend himself from Hashirama and Tobirama's powerful combination assault. And that technique pretty much summed up the entire fight. Hiruzen was simply fighting defensively the entire time. Wow. At one point, Enma, his summon, even notes this, saying, "This isn't like you," and Hiruzen apologizes. And then there is obviously a sequence where Hiruzen is closely inspecting Orochimaru, implying that he's thinking more about him. Enma is also implying that he should be fighting much differently than what he normally would. And while you could say, oh, he's referring to him being much weaker, that's not what's happening. Hiruzen, even in this final battle, is still not resolved to defeating Orochimaru once and for all. Right before resolving himself to using the Reaper Death Seal, Hiruzen has brief memories of his past. This made Hiruzen recall that he wasn't simply having a back and forth with his old rebellious student. He was protecting his village. He was protecting his family. At this moment, Hiruzen actually snaps and went all out, and while he was tired, the difference in power is very clear. With this, we start to see how Hiruzen would fight normally. He summons shadow clones, and even after being struck directly with the Bringer of Darkness Genjutsu, he then uses the Inozuka clan sense of smell to smell the other Hokage through the darkness, deflecting their Kage-level attacks while unable to even see, and then
So basically, what he was saying is that the whole time while they thought he was losing, he was actually holding back. But then towards the end of the fight, which I remember when I first watched the anime, that towards the end of the fight, he did snap and he started to like overpower Orochimaru, and Orochimaru was kind of even scared, like you said in Pen. Orochimaru was like, it's already too late. Like he was kind of just snapped and started to go all out. That's basically was saying that the whole thought the entire fight that he was playing defensively, that he wasn't really going all out because he was probably still looking at Orochimaru as a student, as a child, and didn't really want to kill him. But then eventually as the fight went on, he started thinking about his village and his family, and realized he had to protect his village. And so he started to go all out, which I think really just shows how strong Hokage was even in his old age. So I guess. Yeah, sorry guys again. Alright guys, let's finish the video up.
Seals both of them. After sealing both of them away, he has more memories and more recollections. The memories of what he was entrusted with woke him up even further from the Kage. With tears in his eyes, he went all out and destroys Orochimaru with barely any effort at all, and easily knocks away the sword that would later throw Four Tails Naruto across the forest like it was nothing. He then dies, sealing away Orochimaru's powers and two Hokage who are both Kage level. All of this is Hiruzen at his absolute worst. The databooks go over what Hiruzen at his best might have looked like, a shinobi with all 7 chakra natures, rumored to be the strongest Hokage, a god, directly confirmed that his talents surpassed even Tobirama's. And due to Hiruzen fully utilizing all of his talents and learning all jutsu and konoha, or most of them, it can be gathered that Hiruzen did in fact surpass Tobirama as a shinobi. Now it's unsure whether or not Hiruzen can use maybe like basic forms of the flying.
And guys, you know who Tobirama is. Tobirama was, I believe, was it the first Hokage or the second Hokage? Tobirama, sorry, I'm trying to remember. But basically what he's saying, like in his prime, he could have really been legitimately the strongest Hokage because he was a young little child, God should know you for nothing. He could have been really in his prime the strongest Hokage. Because you said during the whole match, eventually, when he fully went out, he was able to seal the two Hokages. He was able to fully, and even after that, he still was going out. Then when he did go out, he was able to easily defeat Orochimaru and end the fight. And in his prime, like I said, he was a master of all 7 chakra natures. He was a god shinobi. He had mastered every jutsu combo. I can only imagine how much of a master that man was in his prime.
Raijin or not, but otherwise, you seem to even know a seal for the Edo Tensei when Orochimaru was trying to revive Minato in their battle, and also fancied the Shadow Clones, so it's not illogical to assume, since both of these jutsu were Tobirama's, and Tobirama did teach Hiruzen, especially since Hiruzen had to deal with...
Okay, so turn around to second Hokage, sorry guys. So he possibly surpassed the second Hokage, which means he probably wasn't as strong as the first. But the second Hokage when nobody fucking play, he was strong as hell. So that just proves how strong he was in his prime.
Someone else in the war other than Minato and Tobirama. Not saying he does or doesn't have it here, just that if he does have Flying Raijin, it would not be actually that far out there. Now, this is just a data book, but are there feats to perhaps support this? Is there any more evidence than just like a statement? And the answer is actually yes. There are feats that directly support Hiruzen being more powerful than Tobirama and the 5 Kage, even as a reanimated old man.
Damn. Reanimate. So this is him after he was brought back by Orochimaru during the 4th Great War along with all the other Hokage.
During the war, Hiruzen has 3 pretty interesting feats that happen in the very few scenes he's even giving during the whole debacle. The first feat he has is when he fights Tobi Zetsu in his wooden Buddha statue. This wooden Buddha statue was single-handedly beating around the entire QB-amped Shinobi Alliance and the 5 Kage all by itself, to the point that only a few people were able to fight against Madara in the back, even though everyone was trying to help them. The Kage and many others in their dismay have no choice but to comment how they aren't even able to budge the thing, even after using many large-scale attacks. It gets to the point where even the 5 Kage are pushed into a corner, and to their rescue, reanimated Hiruzen comes down and is able to hold off the Buddha statue single-handedly and counters its 5-style jutsu with his own 5-style.
So I want you guys to hear what you just said. I remember that moment in anime. I remember that in the anime, watching that fight in reading the manga. He was completely decimating the entire army. Like you said, this was the entire army QB amped by the Naito Fox Chakra, which was the strongest of all 12 beasts. So their power probably multiplied. I don't want to multiply. Let's say like 10 or 20 times. They were much stronger than what they were. And the fellow Kage and this statue was still beating them like they weren't shit. So here comes Hiruzen, like this is still old man, even though he's remnant, still old man Hiruzen was able to go and block this thing, despite the fact it was wiping out the entire army. So that again, that just shows you how fucking strong he was.
Jutsu assault. Shikamaru and everyone else even comments how if Hiruzen drops, it's over, despite pretty much everyone in the Alliance of relevance being there. This solidifies the statement earlier in part 1 that Hiruzen was definitely the most powerful of the Kage, at least like not the Hokage yet, but at least the normal Kage when he was alive. But it doesn't really solidify him being above Tobirama, as Tobirama is a bit more of a contentious issue when comparing him to the other Kage. That is until the God Tree begins to run amok. Naruto is yanked away by the God Tree and Tobirama tries to stop it. Using his water-style jutsu, he finds he is unable to. He calls for Minato's help, but Minato was drained by the tree in his brief scrape with it. Tobirama in his desperation then tries to lunge in directly to save Naruto, but before Tobirama can even reach Naruto, Hiruzen blitzes Tobirama and obliterates the God Tree with his staff alone and saves Naruto single-handedly again. And while this isn't the most insane feat in the series, this, alongside the statement that Hiruzen had more talent than Tobirama, and the fact Hiruzen was reanimated in his old, weakened body and not in his prime body, should comfortably place here.
But sorry, guys. I don't know why I hate who does that. But hold on. But pretty much what he's saying, what these feats are proving is just how strong this old man, like he was just in his prime. And just how strong he was now. Like the whole thing, the God Tree, how Hiruzen was able to be. Like I said, like in his prime, I wouldn't, like when he was still alive, I wouldn't doubt that he was the strongest of the 5 Hokage during that time. Not when he was old and weak. So you guys can only imagine how strong he'd be in his prime. Sorry, guys. You guys don't imagine how strong he'd be in his prime at that level. Because if he was able to do something even to around, they said he easily blitzed him and got Naruto out of there. Just again, so damn it. Just again, showing how strong this person was. It shows just what level that he was at, even in his old weakened age. Like I said, he had more talent than him, which is not easy to defeat because the second Hokage was strong as a motherfucker. It took like I think like 20 or something S-class ninja. If you don't know, S-class ninja pretty much like the strongest ranking like a ninja can have. That's because ninja are like the Akashi. If you know how strong the Akashi are, that's a half feat. It took 20 of them to kill him, and he still took them all with him. And that just shows you the incredible amount of strength and power he had. So I guess back to what I was saying, that just shows how much time the third Hokage had. He was really truly probably earned the title of God of Shinobi.
Place Hiruzen above him, at least using empirical data. Hiruzen was even able to pinpoint the effects of the True-Seeking Orbs almost on first sight, and was even able to react to a True-Seeking attack with only a Shadow Clone. Now, whether or not Hiruzen could beat Hashirama, as the grand legend suggests and all the memes suggest, is a bit more of a different argument, and while lore is on Hiruzen's side here, unironically, he needs more feats to place him there confidently. Regardless, though, he's definitely in the top half of the Hokage pecking order, rather than the lower half, as people suggest he is, at least without any weird amps or nerfs. And with his insane arsenal of jutsu and secret techniques, it's not a wonder Orochimaru thought the more ninjutsu you owned, the more powerful the shinobi you were, as in the end, he was more than likely subconsciously looking up to Hiruzen in his own dark, warped and cynical way, and their final team up, then Orochimaru's change into a neutral party, might have been telling of that. But forget me, what do you think about Orochimaru actually looking up to Hiruzen? Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video is meant to be more of an eye-opening and educational video rather than debate-oriented, so if you disagree with a thing or two here or there, that is okay, and you can always debate me if you feel very very strongly about it in my Discord, which I will link down below. I'm always
Which I do not suggest you do unless you are really good at debating and you know what you're talking about. You're bringing shit to the table because you're not. You're gonna get decimated by Seth. Like I say, he does his things for a living, and he's very good at debating. So, especially when it comes to things like anime and power scan, like I wouldn't even do it. Plus, he made a lot of sense, and the feats and things like we were saying also made sense. So it really become hard for you to debate him to say like, oh, Hokage is weaker or that he's strong Hashirama. Because like you said, putting him above Hashirama would be a lot harder just because of how fucking strong Hashirama is. Like even Naruto didn't have as much chakra as Hashirama had. Hashirama, I think I'm saying off of Hashirama. Hashirama. Sorry guys. Hashirama, the first Hokage, because he was monstrally strong. Even during the first Shinobi War, we saw that when he was easily able to break out of the binding jutsu that the reanimator, the rebinding like the jutsu sorry guys, the jutsu that puts the reanimate people under control and they come back from the dead. He was easy to break out of that just by releasing his chakra. So I agree with him with saying that he's probably stronger in his prime than the second Hokage, but probably just maybe probably a little somewhat below the first Hokage. They said there's not enough face where you put him there.
willing to have a dialogue and hash it out with my viewers to prove myself and establish the truth, or, we can find the truth together. So, please do if you really do disagree. And this is no different, even if it was intended to be more of a relaxed video. And other than that, hope you all have a great day, and till next time.
Alright guys, pretty much the end of the video. He just this little outro song. Max said probably with Discord, like I said, I've seen him like debate some people, so you don't want to go there. But I really like this video just because I really felt like it educated a lot of people and things like that. And as I said, guys, the link is down below to the description to the Hiruzen video. So if you guys just want to go watch the Hiruzen video, you can. Or and also link down to the channel if you guys want to check more stuff on myself. Like I said, he's a great debater and he's a great person, especially when it comes to like content. Not like for anime and power skills, he's really like my main guy, like him. And Chuck the cyber club are really like my main guys for like power skills because they're so good at what they do. And probably that's not saying there's probably not people out there just as good as better than, but this far I haven't seen really anybody's really on their level when it comes to like debating and power scaling. But anyway, guys, I hope this really got to some people out there. This is supposed to be. I just wanted to try something different, react to something different, some anime. This video is probably more of a long one just because I stopped and talked a lot. Just because it wasn't a music video, I just wanted to talk a lot about things to get my own personal opinions. And I agree with Seth at the end. Like I said, I would put him like on the higher end, definitely the higher end of the Hokage scale, even with his weak and old body age. I would definitely put him on the higher end of the Hokage scale. I never got why people put him on low in it, like all his skill and strength and power. Even before this video, I never put him on the lower end of the Hokage list. I never did. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'll link down below the video and his channel in the description. So that's my Facebook and Twitter. Comment down below to his other video. Tell me guys thought about his argument. Do you agree with Seth? Do you disagree? Do you think where do you put the Federal Hokage in terms of strength, or how strong a person do you think he is? Because like I said, I put him pretty much up there where Seth was at, pretty much like up there with the highest of the Hokage. Because we had to put like the strongest Hokage to leave. It definitely be Naruto first now. The third Hokage, like you said, possibly Tobirama or Hiruzen or Minato. Either way, you can really put those three kind of whichever order you get. Because Minato, Tobirama, and Hashirama, just as a video, so we're all very strong. So to me, any one of those guys could be a third one. So you probably have like you probably have Kakashi next, as he was Hokage. You have Lady Tsunade as last. But anyway, that's just my opinion, guys. So tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to know. And please make sure to like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. And tell me if you want me to react to more videos like from Seth. Or even give me some videos you'd like to see me react from if you guys know his channel on that. Anyway, guys, it's your boy, I can react, and I'm out. Peace.